Hello, it's Wonder Skippy here again. I'm going to try and speak louder because I did this recording before and I can't hear it. This video is about the Tribulation and the Third Temple. If somebody can tell me where it says in the Bible that there's going to be a 7-year tribulation, maybe they could leave a comment on the comments area and show me where it is, because I don't know of any place. What people generally theorize on is the 70 weeks of Daniel's prophecy here. This is in the English Standard Translation, and so I don't dispute, or not very strongly, I wouldn't dispute the idea that there's a significant 7-year period before the end of the age. All I'm saying is, where does it say it's going to be 7 years of tribulation? You know, the dispensationalists who believe in the 7-year tribulation have the rapture before the tribulation starts, and then they've got the mid-tribulation period where the Antichrist does this signing of this contract with Israel, and then he breaks it, and then all the rest of it happens. Anyway, this is the King James down here, verse 27. It says, "And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week." Now, it's anybody's guess who that he is. You could assume it's the Antichrist, but how would he be confirming a covenant if a covenant didn't already exist? For this alleged Antichrist to be confirming a covenant, there would have to be a covenant already in place. And a covenant isn't a deal of land acquisition, confirmation. I think that's the covenant in the Bible. Confirm the covenant is what Jesus did. And the reason I think that this is likely, this he is possibly Jesus, not some future Antichrist, is because of that word there, many, for 1 week. I don't know about the week. I've got no comment on the idea of this happening in a week. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, if you have a look in the this bit in the Gospels, it's in Matthew, it says, "For this is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins." So, all right. So, yeah, so we got that many used by Jesus there, which suggests to me that he knew about this the 70-week prophecy. If you have a look at it, here it says, here in 26 it mentions the Messiah, and then it jumps to the people of the prince. So there's a prince there. People of the prince might be the Romans. Destroying the city might be the Romans in 70 AD. And then it jumps to "and he." So where is that context of he? Is that talking about this prince, Titus? "And he shall confirm the covenant." If it's following on from here, it could be talking about the Messiah, couldn't it? Because there's two people mentioned in verse 26, the Messiah and the prince. Prince is Titus and the Messiah is Christ. So who is it? Or is it projecting it forward into the future to some supposed Antichrist, which is what the dispensationalists and others would have us believe? So if you read 26, it says, "After 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off." And then it mentions the prince, and then the end, "and he shall confirm the covenant." The Messiah, in my opinion, is what it's continuing on from. the Messiah shall confirm the covenant. So that's the first bit I'd like to mention. Like I was saying, where does it say in the Bible that there'll be a 7-year tribulation? It's possible that it's a significant period, and I think we're already in it. I think we're in the midpoint. The reason I think we're in this significant 7-year period is because somebody worked out the Daniel timeline and predicted a good number of years ago that something would happen on the 22nd of March in 2013. They were expecting things to happen as it was in the time of Antiochus IV, with some Antichrist desecrating the rebuilt temple in Jerusalem, as so many other people imagine. But anyway, they predicted a date, something would happen, and it did happen, because on the 22nd of March 2013 Obama went to Jerusalem. And during the time when Obama went to Jerusalem, I was thinking, if this is a fulfillment of the Daniel timeline prophecy, then what's the holy place? Because the idea is that the holy place will be defiled somehow. Is the Temple Mount the holy place? Or is it somewhere else? And I was thinking, well, maybe it's not the Temple Mount, because we're living in the Christian era now, and the old dispensation was finished when the temple curtain was ripped apart. That was like God drawing a line between one period and another. So I was thinking maybe it's something else, and maybe it's a Christian place which is holy, not the Temple Mount. And then I thought, well, maybe it's the something to do with Jesus. It could be the Church of the Nativity. And I thought, well, I had a look on the schedule of Obama's schedule, and there was nothing on there about a visit to the Church of the Nativity. But it did actually happen, and it's on the internet, and he did it on the last day of his visit to Israel. And he walked around the Church of the Nativity, and he was in there with Abbas and Carey, the occultist who was in opposition to the other occultist, George Bush. So there you have these people walking around the Church of the Nativity, and the devout believers often kneel. But apparently Obama just stood there. So in my humble opinion, that's a possible fulfillment of the Daniel timeline prediction. And if you project back 3.5 years from March 22nd exactly to the day, you will find that Obama was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for doing absolutely nothing. In my opinion, that was the start of the significant final 7 years of the age. And so it doesn't take much to work out when the end of the age is. It's another 3.5 years. So let's go into these different texts which I've saved. The first point I need to make is that the temple of God described by Paul. Yeah, I'm doing a recording. I'm recording something. This in 2 Thessalonians, when Paul is talking about the temple of God, it's in his other letters. He was talking about believers. It says here, the phrase translated as temple of God is used four times by Paul: 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, and 2 Thessalonians. And in the other 3 cases, there is no doubt that Paul is speaking about a spiritual temple, the body of believers called a church, and not a physical building. So It seems a bit doubtful that in 2 Thessalonians here he would suddenly change and be talking about the third rebuilt Jewish temple in Jerusalem. Very doubtful in my opinion. He's talking about the same thing, the body of believers. So when he's saying that this son of perdition seats himself in the temple of God, proclaiming himself to be God, that's not the Antichrist going into the rebuilt temple. That's something else going on there, where he's displacing the indwelling of the Holy Spirit in the believer with him and his claim to be divine. I think that claim to divinity might be something to do with kind of apostate New Age quote-unquote Christian teaching, which is popping up at the moment in various places around America. That the idea that all humans are divine goes back to the serpent in the garden. That was the original claim. So I need to do a second part because I'm running out of time and I haven't covered all the bits yet. So I've got a few more minutes, so I'll just talk about this third temple. Is there any evidence in the Bible that there will be a third temple, third Jewish temple on the Temple Mount? And it seems not. There's a mention, Ezekiel's chapters 40 to 48 is talking about a temple. But everybody, including Jewish people, believe that that's a temple built with the participation of the Messiah, and not before. And that's been understood for a long, long time by Christians and other people that the temple won't be built. So I'll carry on with this third temple thing in the next video, or I won't be able to upload them.